hello, Ranger fandom. Today we have a very special interview with a very special performer. Today we have with us an accomplished actor, dancer, and of course, the OG Black Ranger. We got Walter Jones in the house, everybody.
Woo!
Hey, turn up. Hey.
There it is.
Yeah! Yeah!
I'm Johnny Parker from
What's
that
up, guys?
hashtag show. What's up, Walt? Good to see you, fam.
What's up, man? Good to see y'all.
For sure. I'm Johnny Parker from that hashtag show and Disney Plus Diversity.
And I'm
Hi.
just Quizon from Nothing New Remake Podcast, Nerdtastic, and Disney Plus Diversity.
Yep. And we're gonna be your moderators today, talking with the great Walter Jones. So Walt,
So what's up, boys?
It is a pleasure to talk to you, sir. I want to say that much. Before we get started with Ranger questions, we just want to know, how are you? What are you like most looking forward to now that things are kind of opening up again after a year and a half of dealing with this wild year that we all had to deal with, man?
You know what, man? I'm just happy to be back in the system. I'm happy to be back out in the world. You know, like I am not a loner. I'm a people person, right?
Yeah,
so
I feel you.
When everything shut down, I had my family, I had my girlfriends. That was a blessing. But man, I miss my people. I miss being outside and dancing and laughing and hugging people. Man, I miss all that so much. So I'm happy that the world is opening back up. I'm glad I got my vaccination. I got vaccinated. That's right. And
same.
You know, if you're concerned about your health, if you're concerned about the health of other people, I think you should do it. If you don't do it, that's all right. It's cool. You do you, but I did me, and I'm happy I did.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You got to be safe out here. And Walt, we just want to ask you, because again, you've had such a rich history, and like we said earlier, we love the shirt and everything like that because you are Black history. You again being the first Black Ranger. And so I just want to ask you, back when you were first cast on Power Rangers, when you like showed up, you saw the diversity of that group, saw like again a mixture of like Asian American, African American, and women like all together in the show. Like, how did it feel? Like, what struck you about that? Like, how did you feel when you saw that?
Well, I was excited because I hadn't seen anything like that on TV. I mean, you know, you had 90210, you had all these other Saved by the Bell, you had all these shows, and usually there's you know, sometimes there was one Black person, but we were superheroes. So the fact that, you know, I was a superhero with this group of other people, including Thuy Trang, who was Asian, who wasn't originally in the cast. Originally, it was Audrey Dubois, who was
right.
I think she's Latina. But when Thuy joined our cast, she added this energy that was like that we needed. We needed a little bit of zen. We needed some zen to go along with everything else we had. And Thuy brought that to the group. She brought this energy of like, you know, like oneness and zen and peace and tranquility and concern for the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was dope. That's what we needed. It rounded us out perfectly.
That's what's up.
I was excited to be part of a cast that was diverse like that because it was important. It was important that everybody had somebody they could connect to or relate to. And it didn't matter really, like just because I was a Black superhero, not all my fans are Black. You know, I got fans from that love me all across the board. And I know a lot of Black people that their favorite Ranger was Kimberly or Jason or Tommy. So the fact that it didn't matter really that we were different races, it just mattered that we were friends and that we were unified in our task, which was to, you know, save the world from darkness, basically.
super dope. And it's like you mentioned that Thuy brought a lot of things to the cast, to the show and everything like that. But like also it felt like you did as well. Because again, as a Black kid from Detroit watching this show, I was seeing like all the stuff that you were doing.
In the house.
There it is. Motown 313. Right? Exactly, yeah. Motown 313.
What up, Joe? What up, Joe?
Exactly. What up, Joe? Hit up the Coney Island later. It's
right.
And so for real, so like watching the show, seeing you like, you know, the dancing, the hip hop, like, you know, the slang that you're using, the hip hop keto, which is awesome. Like that resonated a lot, not just with me, with a lot of fans and whatnot. So like real talk, like how much of that did you bring to the character?
Well, it was the idea of the writers to include hip hop into the script in the sense. At that time in 1992, 93, hip hop was super prevalent. It was like, it was blowing out everything away. It was high on the charts. Everything was hip hop. It was like, it was smart of them to want to include that because there's such a vast audience that hip hop reached, all races. It was all around the world. So what they did was they said they wanted somebody that could create this martial arts. I'm sorry, 1 second.
Oh, good, okay.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry. They wanted somebody that could create this martial arts form, and the audition presented that. So when I went to the audition, they wanted to see if I could do martial arts, if I could do gymnastics, if I could dance, and if I could act. Those were the four qualities we were looking for in the character, right? So the acting I had down, easy. I was a graduate from college, got a degree in musical theater, so I've been working in theater for a long time. So that I was solid with. Sure. The dancing I've been doing all my life. Since I was a little kid, I've been dancing. I started with Michael Jackson, and I went to pop locking. Then I went to break dancing, and then I went to a school of performing arts, and I studied jazz, tap, and ballet. So dancing was something that was innate in me. And then they were looking for somebody who could do gymnastics. And I kind of taught myself doing that in the street. So I knew how to do a back tuck because I learned to do back tucks off the porch in my yard in Detroit, right? I learned to do front flips over my friends because we used to run and try to dive over the bushes. And we dive over the bushes, and eventually, that hurt. So I started landing on my butt, and then that hurt. And then I started landing on my feet. And I was like, I'm gonna land on my feet from now on. So that became this like front flip where I would dive, do a flip, and land on my feet. I had the hops. I was able to do it. And when it came to the audition, they said, well, can you put it all together? And that was like, you want me to do what? I mean, I know I can do it individually, but together, but it managed. We managed to do it. Martial arts, gymnastics, and danceability. I think martial arts is basically dance in a defensive way. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a cool way to look at it.
If you think about it, a kata is basically a dance of martial arts techniques. So what I had to do in the audition was I developed a kata based off of dance, martial arts, and gymnastics. And that is what got me to the next level as far as getting cast as the Power Ranger. And then once I got on the show, then obviously that came from my mind, so I had to create it. It's not like the stunt coordinator could go, all right, so I want you to do a backflip and then hit that breakdance move. I don't know which one, but one of them, and throw some punches. It had to come from me. So it was pretty amazing, and I think all my stunt guys helped me out in immense ways to be creative and to come up with different things. Like there was one scene that I shot where I was running, being chased by some putties in a park, and the guy's name was Eric Betts. He was one of my friends, a stunt guy. He played a putty, and so we're running, and I jump up and I grab a limb and I swing over the tree, over the limb, and come back. He runs under me. I come back and I kick him in the back. So he's running. I swing over the limb, come back and kick him. Right now, that wasn't possible. That wasn't possible. I was like, I just couldn't get enough momentum and jump and run and flip and do all that. But what we did was we played with the cameras. So the camera's here, you see me running, he's behind me. So when I jump up and grab the limb, he pushed me. And I gave me the momentum to go up and over the limb, come back down and kick him in the back, right? So that became part of what Hip Hop Keto was. It was like these collaborations of ideas and talent and strength and agility, So, and I'm excited about Hip Hop Keto, man, because I'll tell you this, I had an audition after I left the Rangers for a martial arts project, and I went in and, I'm like, I got, I'm gonna kick some punches. This is mostly martial arts, right? But the game had risen so much from Power Rangers, like it inspired people to go out and do stuff that tricking became a thing. Tricking, and then you got breakdancers that could do stuff. So when I went in this audition, I did my jumps and my kicks and went down to the ground and spun. I came up and did some punches, and I was dope. I felt like I did a great job. But the next dude went in, stood on his hands, and started kicking his legs like this, winter circle, went down to the bottom, did like a windmill, came up, spun his hand, and came up in a karate stance. And I was like, yeah, I guess they outdone me now.
Oh, no.
I was like, yo, but I'm happy I motivated that. I'm happy.
Yeah,
that
definitely so.
I inspired kids to go out and do something that was, beyond what they've seen before. To go, I'm gonna put it all together. I'm gonna make it all into one something, and every ability that I have, I'll throw into it and make it creative. That's what happens when you battle dance. When you battle and you break dancing, you come up with all these different things. And I remember back in the day, we had this move called the suicide. So you would do your thing and you would run up and you flip and you land flat on your back, and it hurt, but it looked cool, right? It looked cool. But there was a technique. The technique was when you did your flip, you had to come down and hit your feet first, and then let your body land. That way, it looked like you were splatting, but you were like, ba-ba, and it broke your fall. So you weren't breaking your back. But it took a lot of people to break their back first to figure out that's the way to do it, right? So I don't know. I'm happy that Hip Hop Keto was part of my character. It was one of the funnest parts of the job for me.
That's super dope. And it's crazy too, because as you mentioned that, like how it evolved, like I think about this show called America's Best Dance Crew. One season they had on this group called Quest Crew, and one of the homies in there was like a trained martial artist who was mixing it with the hip hop. It's like, oh crap, that's Hip Hop Keto. Again, you pioneered it, you got it started, and boom, it's carrying on to this day. So again, that's so awesome. Which kind of leads me to like my next question. So like, the cool thing about it is though, that your character has resonated with people like for years. Like again, I saw the video from the comic blog yesterday where you did your signing. Congratulations! I saw that line going around the block, and it was like, oh, that's what's up. Man, everyone else showing love.
We got love, man. We got love. In 40 countries around the world, we got love, and that's the one thing we're not short of. It's 28 years later, man. It's 28 years later, coming up on 29, right?
Yep.
And I still look the same, but we don't have to talk about that.
Black don't crack. Dude, black don't crack.
You seriously do.
Don't crack. Hey, that don't crack. That's gotta be my new T-shirt. Like,
Yes.
you and Carrie Ashley just mark that bad boy around all the time.
That'll be the next shirt I'm wearing on the thing, right? I'm like, all right.
There it is.
That don't crack. That's it.
There it is. So like real talk. So like again, that line going around the building, everyone's like there to show love and everything like that. 28 years, like going strong. What do you think it is about like your character that makes like people that resonates with people so much? What do you think it is that made it stand out to them and like grab their hearts?
You know what? Somebody told me yesterday, in fact, they said it was a Latin dude. He said, you were always my favorite. A lot of my friends, they were like, you don't want to be Tommy, you don't want to be Jason, or whatever. But you were my favorite. You know why? The reason, and I just rediscovered it because I'm watching it with my kids now, and I look at it and I see what it is. You are the heart. You were the heart. It's like you always brought happy energy to everything. You were always like, and you were also the voice of reason. You were the one to go, because you have those friends that let you do stuff and they're stupid and they just kind of like sit back and watch you do it. But Zach was the guy that went, that ain't cool, man. I mean, like in a way that wasn't like so judgmental, but just I'm your homeboy, and I'm gonna be real with you. That ain't the way to do it. You should respect your mom. You shouldn't be a bully. That ain't cool. That's not the way to be cool. And I like you, so I'm just telling you, so so I don't not like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, So, I think that's what it was. I think Zach was the heart of the group in a sense that here's an example. There was an episode where Trini and Kimberly are getting bothered by Bulk and Skull, right? Mm-hmm. And they come up and they, I think I'm standing with Kimberly and Trini, and Bulk and Skull come up and they start picking on the girls. And so automatically, Zach, as well as what Walter would do, automatically I step up, hey man, you need to back up and leave the girls alone. But the girls, being who they were like, we got this, Zach. and they come up and they take care of him in their way. And Zach sits back and he's like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun." Right?
Yeah.
You don't even know what's coming. I'm gonna watch this, right? And that was the kind of spirit that Zach had in the scripts. He was like, "I'm there for you if you need me, but I know I'm confident that you can take care of yourself. But if you need me, I'm there." Right? And that I think that's a character that everybody wants to have in their life. You know, it's like a big brother. It's like, you know, somebody that you can trust to tell you if you're doing things the wrong way and that you can respect. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Awesome. I'm sure there are plenty of moments from the show with Zach that fans bring up to you. Like, what's the most common thing a fan has brought up to you that you've heard over and over again? Like, that's my favorite moment with Zach.
It's got to be the hip hop keto kata. I mean, like,
that makes sense.
That's just, you know, that is the one thing that everybody is just, you know, as beloved about Zach. And my chasing of Angela.
Angela.
You know, that whole thing. They're like, "I don't understand, bro. I mean, didn't you know who you were? Like, you were school. Like, what was her problem? Who else was she dating? Like, what was going on? He was the Zach man." You know,
you made hip-hop keto. You made hip-hop keto.
I know. It wasn't me. That's the way she was written.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
So actually, one thing I wanted to talk to you about, a couple years ago at Morphicon, Austin got to meet Yuta Mizuuchi, who played Geki, Red Ranger, and Zyuranger. I did see a photo with you and Goshi's actor.
Yes.
What was it like meeting the Japanese performer of the show that basically did all of this for you? You know?
Yeah. Well, it was humbling. It was awesome. And it was what's the word I want to use? It was I felt embraced by him. I mean, like I felt like we had a mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at him like, "Bro, you started this whole thing. You did it for 20 years in Japan, and I'm honored to meet you." And he's looking at me like, you did this in America 20 years later, and I'm proud of you because look at what we've done together. You know what I'm saying?
So that's dope.
Look at this whole world that's been created, and I was there, and you're there, and together we had this moment. So it was pretty amazing.
That's amazing. I think I feel like Zyuranger was popular in Japan. It was fun, but I think what you guys did to that show made them immortal more than anything else. It's like Power Rangers has turned their show from, oh yeah, people like Zyuranger too. No, those suits are now, because of you guys' work, now those suits are iconic. And I think that's what's really great is when I hear Yuta and Goshi, and hearing that from Goshi's actor, that they look at you as like, you guys helped us. So that's really awesome.
Super dope. That is awesome. It is awesome because, bro, this is a phenomenon. I'm like, all right, it's one thing to say the unfairness of the whole thing. I mean, like, meaning this thing is amazing. This thing is in 40 countries around the world and a number of languages. We weren't treated fairly, so we didn't partake in the abundance of it. But love that we have, I mean, I wouldn't give that up. I can't give that up. I can't be like, I would not spit in the face. I would, if I had to do it all again, I would do it the same way. Do you know what I mean? I would I would not choose not to have this experience because it's made my life so much richer in the sense that I get love every day from somebody that's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. And now it's not even, it's generations. It's like kids. I mean, it's weird because your parents sat down and watched the Power Rangers with you, whether they liked it or not. They were like, "Get off my couch," right? And they're like, "Stop jumping off my couch," right?
Exactly.
You know, that happened with those parents, but it made you happy. So they did everything they could do to get the toys that you wanted, to come and have you come and meet us, to make sure that you could watch the show. They recorded it on VHS. So when you got home from school, you didn't miss the opening. You know, they did all this stuff. Those are your parents. Now you guys are parents and your kids are watching it. And man, that's 3 generations of people that, you know, that have been involved in loving the show and supporting it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's weird because who would you say is the most popular superhero that you can think of outside of Power Rangers at all?
Oh, like, Batman.
Batman. Okay, Batman. And what actor do you associate with Batman?
Oh, let's see, Michael Keaton for me.
Okay, Michael Keaton, right? Because there's been a number of Batman, right?
Right.
Now, how many action figures does Michael Keaton have of him as Batman?
Oh man, like a lot. When I remember growing up as a kid, like a lot. Yeah.
Action figures as him as Batman, right?
Yeah.
So that's outstanding. And that is not something that you can that's common.
Yeah.
I have 3 pops and probably 8 to 10 action figures.
Whoa.
That is crazy to me. That's crazy to me. And although I haven't partaken in the wealth of that, all this merchandise is in the world of me. I got 3 comic book series.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Boom Comics has 3 comic books, and Boom is amazing. I'm loving it. I'm loving the new comic book they got, Power Rangers, that has us, you know, as the other Rangers. What's the name?
Delta Rangers? Oh no.
Omega.
Omega. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
So this whole world of the Omega Ranger, they took the story of Zach and Trini and Jason and us leaving the show, and they made it into something that is so amazing, because now our story has gone on from being, you know, these Rangers who kind of went off to the peace conference. Right?
Peace conference.
The peace conference.
Went off and they did something even greater. They became intergalactic Rangers. So now they're fighting. They're fighting in different dimensions, in different galaxies as Rangers, and they are carrying the torch for everybody to survive because of what happened in the previous with Lord Draken, right? That whole thing, man, is like, it's blowing my mind, just because these worlds have been created with the character that I built like 28 years ago. And the life of it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And it will outlive me. That's amazing. It's gonna outlive me. It's gonna outlive my kids. There's books, there's like toys, there's things that will live in history that will be here far beyond, you know, far beyond when I'm gone. Like, they'll be in existence. The people will look at it and read and be like, oh yeah, and then somewhere they'll read in Wikipedia that I started it. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's
awesome.
Yeah.
No, like I saw your clip from your cameo in the Boomerang show, you know, and I feel like that encapsulates what you're talking about, you know, like, and even though it's a hilarious scene.
It was kind of weird.
It's a hilarious scene.
It was a little weird, but
I'll admit, seeing you back in the suit, I'm like, damn. Even for me, I'm like, it just felt good seeing you in that costume again.
Yeah.
You know,
that was the first time I wore it in 25 years or 26 years. But it was, you know, I was God's gatekeeper, which is kind of cool. I think he's God's gatekeeper. I'm like, all right, I can be that. I'm dope.
So, you know, before franchises like Fast and Furious, where they like realized the monetary value of diversity, like Power Rangers was like already doing it. So in your opinion, what's next for Power Rangers? What would you like to see them do to continue being progressive?
Well, I know that they have plans to do a few things. I know they're coming up with an animation show. And I know they're planning to do a teenage reboot of the show.
Interesting.
Oh, so
really?
So, Yeah, that's what I've heard through the grapevine.
Okay. All right.
And I'm excited to see what they do with that. I hope that they have the sensibility to involve us, because our fan base is, they want us. They want to see us. They want us to be involved, because then it's the nostalgia of that is fed. I mean, the last movie that came out was a great movie. I thought they did a great job. I thought it was very entertaining. My kids enjoyed it, but they should have had us in the movie, if nothing else, as Easter eggs. I don't understand why they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have been a security guard running chasing them through the whatever, and going, "Hey, come back here!" And people would be like, "Oh my God, that was that!" Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
100 agreed.
Just to see that.
Agreed.
Just to see that moment. All of our fans, all of our 3 generations of fans would have gone just to see that, and they would have embraced the new people as well.
Exactly.
It would have been like, it wouldn't have been like an argument of, oh well, they should have been. No, it would have been like, did you see that? That was awesome how they engaged them, how they were involved. That would have been amazing. Amy Jo could have been at Krispy Kreme going, "Would you like another donut?" Like it could have been, we could have been placed in all through the movie, but not as extras with the line.
Of course.
They put Amy Jo and Jason David Frank at the end of the movie as extras, not saying a thing. It was disrespectful. It was disrespectful.
Definitely.
It should have been all of us.
It should have been all of you. Agreed.
Yeah.
You could have been a teacher at that school. That would have been great, man.
Yeah.
All of us could have been something different, right?
All of it. Yeah.
It would have been awesome. Austin would have been a teacher.
Yeah.
Austin would have been the one. He would have been a teacher when Jason socked the kid, right? He would have broke him up. Hey, stop it, right?
That would have been good.
Tell me the fans would not have loved to see that. That would have been like,
totally.
Everybody would have talked about it. Everybody would have went home and said, "Oh man, in the movie, and then this happened, and then it was Morphin time," and that would have been, it would have been dope. But
definitely.
Hopefully they have the presence of mind to do that, because there's all these reboots right now, right?
Yeah.
Rebooted. Power Rangers is going to be rebooted. I just hope they involve us.
No,
I agree.
Definitely so. And it's interesting that you bring this up, because like when you look at the show, they brought back JDF like multiple different times for different things. And recently with this like most recent series, they brought back Austin. So like in my opinion, like they should bring you back. They definitely should bring you back. Give this man a check. Give this man a check. Yeah. So
here's the problem. The problem with me coming back hasn't been about it's the fact that I'm a union actor.
Yeah.
That's
really? Oh,
and it's still a non-union show. See, so Jason Frank and Austin St. John are not union actors. They haven't made their living as an actor over the last 28 years. They've made their living doing other things. I've made my living as an actor, in television, film, voiceover. That's all I've been doing. That's how I make my living. So for me to come back to the show, which I would love to do, they have to treat me as a professional actor, and they don't. That's been the problem. They don't want to treat me as a professional actor. They want me to come back and be non-union, and I'm like, look, I would love to come back to the show, but I'm a union actor. Yeah. Everybody else treats me a certain way. Everybody else treats me a certain way according to the contracts of Screen Actors Guild. And that's the way I have to be treated. And that's the reason I left the show in the first place. Right. Because they wanted to treat us as professionals, which is unfair completely.
Yeah. No,
it's unfair financially, it's unfair work-wise, it's unfair. So there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to bring us back or bring me back in a professional capacity as a professional actor, which is what I've been doing for the last 25, 26 years. So that's the reason why I haven't been back. That's why Austin went back. That's why Jason went back. But that's why I haven't been back.
Dude, that sucks. And you're right. That's terrible. Because, like, again, given the type of this panel and whatnot, like, again, it's like not being invited back because your union is like very like anti-progressive is problematic because unions protect people. They make sure that they get the rights that they're entitled to, and them not doing that is like totally wrong. And you would think at this stage of the game, like I could see like maybe earlier on as you're starting out, but this stage of the game with something that's been going on all these years, and you made like all these millions of dollars, you can afford to like hire union actors at this point. And it's just wrong. It's just selfish on so many levels and so problematic. So yeah. So and here's the thing, and you're right for standing your ground and like not going back there because until they start doing that, again, they're going to continue to be in the wrong. So yeah, I understand totally. Thanks for telling us about that.
I would love to go back. I really would. That's why another reason why I'm like, if they don't want to, if they don't want to affect the television show in a way by showing me, Walter Jones, some form of, they don't want me to be different from everybody else. Put us in the movie. The movie's sad.
Yeah.
These are all SAG actors.
Yep.
So put us in the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Put us in an environment that we will be professionals and be paid as professionals like we should have been paid from the very beginning. That's it.
No, you're right.
Great.
Because you mentioned the Netflix show, all this other stuff they're trying to do, this reboots and whatnot, that all has to be union work. So if there was ever a time to bring y'all back, it is now. Now's the time. So let me just ask you this, Olo. So I'm going to say when they bring you back because they need to. So when they bring you back on your union rate and everything like that, give you your props you deserve, what role do you see Zach playing now? Like, how do you see the character have changed over years? Like, how do you see, like, so how do you think Zach has evolved or changed in, like, the maybe, like, 10 plus years that he's been, like, absent from Angel Grove and everything?
Well, you know what? Like I said, I really like the narrative that Boom Comics is setting with the Rangers, with the Omega Rangers. I really like that concept and that idea of still being part of the Rangers, but on a different level.
Yeah.
As on a different level. There's like, there's what started and what's happened over the last 28 years. And the fact that I was never gone from it. I was just handling it in a greater way.
Yeah.
And some like, intergalactic, dimensional. I like that. I like that concept. I think they need to run with that.
I like that. In a way, it's kind of like when LeBron James went from Cleveland to Miami, and now he's with the Lakers. It's like he went to that next level. He kept getting chips. I like that.
That's rad. Okay. I think we're ready to wrap this up, Johnny. Walter, is there anything else that you want the audience to know about things that's coming up for you that they want to keep track of? Anything you want to push and promote? Any
appearances or anything like that?
You know what? I have a number of appearances that I'll be doing over the year. We're getting back to the grindstone, which is what I'm happy about. I miss all the fans, so I'm always happy to see them. And with COVID, we've had to be more distance and so forth and so on. I'm looking forward to getting back to the days when we can hug again. In the meantime, I just say, follow me on my social media at Walter E. Jones on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on what is it? TikTok. Hey.
Yeah.
Follow me on TikTok. Follow me and you'll get the information of where I'm at, where I'm going, what's going on. When I can announce about the different things I got going on. I do have a couple of films coming up. I have a fan film that I am executive producing that I'm excited about. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes.
Nice.
I got another fan project that's out, and then I have a film called Scream Before You Die that I'm going to be doing.
Oh, sick!
I got a animation project I'm involved with called Meet the Walkers. So all these things are happening, but they're not out for you to see yet. So when that happens, you'll be able to find out on my social media.
That's what's up. And we'll definitely promote it as well. And again, as we wrap this thing up, I just want to tell you, thank you. I'm a comic book writer now, in addition to doing stuff with that hashtag show and Disney Plus Diversity. And I just want to say thank you because that shirt where it says I am Black History, legit you are. As a Black kid growing up in Detroit, seeing a Black person on screen being a superhero made a huge impact on me. So I say thank you to that. And I appreciate you. And as always, everybody, thanks for tuning in to that hashtag show. Be sure to give Walter a follow. And as always, may the power protect you. Peace, y'all.
It's Morphicon.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
There it is.
Nice.
Does not get old, sir.
Never does. Deuces, y'all.
Peace and love, y'all.
Peace,
Take
Walt.
care.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you,
Bye,
man.
guys.